Thank you, Steve. It really is an honor to be in a room filled with so many leaders in the community. I grew up in Silver Spring. My father, blessed memory, Judge Ronald Lipman, was a part of the leadership of the community as well, and it's an honor to stand here. July 2004, 9 years ago, my wife and children, we boarded an airplane in New York, the entire airplane with people making Aliyah, moving to Israel. And the pilot went through the regular routine that pilots go through. He said, we'll be flying at 30,000 feet, it'll take 9.5 hours, et cetera, et cetera. And then at the end he said, I want everyone to sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. I'm here to take you home. And it was an amazing moment that after 2,000 years, we were the representatives of our family to come back home. But after moving to Israel and coming to a remarkable country, built through blood, sweat, and tears, that was handed to us on a silver platter to move to, there's one issue which I realized we haven't gotten right. And that is, how do you take Jews from all around the world, 2,000 years of different religious, cultural, national experiences, put them all in the small little geographic area we call Israel, and say, get along with one another. That's what we haven't figured out. And I learned in my hometown of Beit Shemesh that not every Jew feels at home. And that pilot didn't look around the plane first and say, do we have ultra-Orthodox, secular, conservative, Reform, Ethiopian, Russian? He had a plane full of Jews, and he said, I'm here to take you home. And it's our responsibility to make sure that every single Jew feels at home in Israel. So I got involved in communal activity, political activity, and now in the Knesset, people say to me, Dov, it's just a dream. Stam chalom, you're an American, naive guy. Israelis are stubborn in their ways, we're not going to change. When they tell me that, I have two answers. The first answer is that about 30 years ago, growing up here in Silver Spring, we would come to the Russian embassy to demonstrate for our brothers and sisters behind the Iron Curtain. And one of those times they gave us signs to hold up. And I was a 13-year-old American kid. All I cared about was how the Redskins were going to win on Sunday or not. I wasn't thinking about world Jewry. But I stood there holding my sign, and I remember it like yesterday. My sign said, Free Yuli Edelstein. That was my sign. If you want to talk about dreams, 30 years later, I sit as a member of the Israeli Knesset, and the speaker of the Knesset is Yuli Edelstein. So no one's going to tell us not to dream. King David said, the return of the Jewish people to Zion, Hayinu kechomim, we're like dreamers. It's all a dream. 70 years ago, my grandmother, may she live and be well, was languishing in Auschwitz. And a few months ago, she made the trip to Jerusalem and sat in my Knesset office, and she said, this makes no sense. A Jewish state, a Jewish parliament, my grandson in that parliament. So no one can tell us not to dream, and we're going to make Israel better and make Israel a home for all of Jews. But the second answer to the question is, there's a courageous leader in Israel who stood up and said, this issue has not been on the platform of any Knesset party for decades, and we're going to make it a part of that platform. And that is Minister Yair Lapid, who stood up and started a party called Yesh Atid from nothing, from zero, and brought on all kinds of people who are not politicians. I have to be honest with you, I could have never imagined that I could be a member of Knesset. First of all, I see the yelling and the screaming in the Knesset, and how can an American boy, in 7 months I have learned how to do that, but, and also Hebrew-wise, but Yair believed in us, and he brought together a team, and we are hard at work in Israel right now, making sure that Israel's a home where every single Jew, regardless of their